Are you new to Rematch or even new to soccer/football? This video is going to be a little bit different than my other videos because usually my videos are highlights, but this video is going to be more informational for new Rematch players who want to improve. So in this video, I'm going to give you 6 simple tips to improve your game in Rematch. So the first tip I want to give is the concept of pressure cover.
I'll press.
So in this clip, you hear me call out that I'm going to pressure the enemies. This lets my teammates know that I'm going to go up and pressure, and while I do that, they drop back and cover the options.
There you go, Matthias.
I'm going to use a different clip to showcase this better. So in this clip, I'm the person who drops back and covers the options. As you can see, there's someone to my left who's kind of marked, and there's someone to my right who's a little in front of me. So from this position, I'm able to effectively watch both passes to both these players and also react efficiently. Some people in this position might just tightly mark the player in the right, but the reason you don't want to do this is because if you're tightly marking him, it gives the enemies the option to do a through ball where we both have to chase the ball, and it makes it more of a 50-50. And also, if I was tightly marking one of the players, it would make the other player more open. Now this obviously is a simple concept, and that's why it's directed more towards new players, but the reason that this is so important is because if multiple people pressure the ball, that leaves space behind them for through balls and passes. And if you guys both drop back and don't pressure, that gives the person with the ball lots of space to work with, which you don't want. And now the second tip I have is literally about one of the core and most important mechanics in the game: the first touch. It's simple. When a ball is coming towards you and the blue arrows are surrounding it, that lets you know that you're able to take a touch. Now to take a touch, you would click A on Xbox controllers and X on PlayStation controllers. Now this tip is really important because I see a lot of new players just let the ball go past them because they expect the game to take a first touch for them. But that's not the case. Sometimes the blue arrows are surrounding it and it seems to be going at you, but it won't control the ball for you. So please remember to click either A or X to take a first touch unless the ball is literally going directly at you and it cannot be missed. Now as for a more advanced tip, you should use the first touch to decide where you want to go to keep the momentum of the game and set up your next action. So for example, if the enemy goal is on your backside and the ball is coming towards you and you want to turn around with it, just hold backwards with the left stick and use the touch button, and it will take your first touch in that direction. So to summarize, if the ball is coming towards you and you want to move it into a certain direction, just aim at the direction you want to aim it into and click the touch button depending on which controller you're using. And one more simple tip regarding the first touch: when you're deciding which direction to take your first touch into, look around you to make the best decision. So for example, if there's an enemy running full speed at you, you could take a touch against the momentum, or if you see a lot of pressure in one space and want to go away from it, take your touch into that space. Now obviously there's 2 easy ways to do this. The first way is to just look around you with your camera with your eyes, and the second way is actually going to have to do with my third tip: the minimap. Now I've played the last 2 betas, and I think the biggest difference from my second beta gameplay to my first beta gameplay was my usage of the minimap. I don't have to talk about this one too long because it's pretty simple, but please start using your minimap. In this game, you can only look one direction. There's no way to look behind you without actively turning your camera around, at least for right now. But when you use your minimap, not only can you see where all the players around you are, but when the ball is being crossed, passed, anything, you can also see a marker of where the ball is going to land on your minimap. Now you should be using it pretty often, but there's 3 main ways I would suggest using it. Now the first way is basically anytime during the game when you're on the pitch to look at it and see if there's enemies in your blind spot or anything. The second way would be, like I said before you take your first touch or any touches, just look at the minimap to also see if there's people in your blind spot and to decide where to go. And the third way would be as keeper, defending those wall bounce shots where they try to pass it off the backboard and go to their teammate or to themselves, because you can see where the ball is going to land on the minimap and then catch it before they can shoot it. For my 4th tip, I'm going to give you 4 basic ways to score. Number 1, low driven near post. Number 2, pass to yourself off the backboard. Number 3, walk up to the keeper and pass into the corner. Now number 4 is kind of obvious, but just pull up from 30 yards.
I was like, I can shoot this.
I got this.
Tip number 5. Now I'm going to talk about the curve mechanic. Some new players might not even know this exists, but when you're holding the shoot button, you can use your left stick and curve it the direction that you're pointing. So if you were holding left on the left joystick, the ball would curve to the left for the shot. Or if you're holding right on the left joystick, it'd curve to the right, and etc. Now this can be very useful for shots obviously, but I'm more specifically going to talk about using it for passes. So the actual pass button is X on Xbox controllers and square on PlayStation controllers. But if you're going to go for a long pass, I would suggest using a shot as a pass, because the shot has a lot more power, it can go a lot farther. And on top of that, you can also curve shots, which means you can also curve passes. Now, I don't want to make this complicated because there's a lot of ways you could curve the ball in different situations, but the main reason you want to curve the ball in different situations is because it unlocks more potential for plays, and it also makes life hard for defenders and goalkeepers. Like in this clip, you'll see me do a whipped cross to my teammate that curves away from the goalkeeper and the defenders. This makes it harder for them to predict where the ball is going to land and also to intercept it. And it also makes the keeper have to make a decision: rush the ball or stay in net and wait to see where the pass lands. And you could also curve the ball downwards, and this is called dip. In this clip, you'll see me aim high above the defender, but the ball will dip downwards right to my teammate. So as you can probably tell by now, curving the ball is a great way to get past defenders and beat goalkeepers. And the final thing I really have to add to this is backspin. This happens when you curve the ball upwards. And I don't think a lot of people actually know this, but when you add the backspin to the passes, it makes the pass go farther. So it is very useful for long passes. If you want to pass the ball really far away, like almost whole map, make sure to add backspin to the pass. And obviously everything I said about passing with curve also applies to shooting with curve. So just get creative, because you can curve the ball in so many different ways in so many situations. Now, my sixth and final tip is one-timing passes. Probably the best way to catch opponents off guard. Kind of a mix of the first touch and spatial awareness I was talking about earlier. If the ball is coming towards you and you've assessed the situation around you using spatial awareness with callouts, minimap, or just your vision, you can make your first touch a pass to your teammate. This is so good because it increases the speed of play and it gives the enemies a lot less time to react. Now obviously this requires quick decision making, good spatial awareness, and a well-placed pass, but when done correctly, it can create a lot of space for your teammate and make your enemies' lives a lot harder. Another thing to consider is doing 1-2 passes. This is when your teammate passes you the ball and you one-time pass it back to them, usually while they're making a run.
Back, yeah.
Not high.
So yeah, those are my 6 tips I have to players wanting to improve in Rematch. Now I hope you guys all implement these into your game so you can get out of Bronze 3 and be Bronze 2 like me. Alright, see ya.